We're here in Langley, BC, right outside the Coast Hotel and Convention Centre for the 6th session of the National Citizens Inquiry. The National Citizens Inquiry is a citizen-led, citizen-funded, independent inquiry into the COVID-19 measures. Organizers say the goal of the NCI is to hear from Canadians and experts and investigate the government's COVID-19 policies in a fair and impartial manner. 176 Canadians are to testify, and currently there are over 65,000 petition signatures. Christopher Melanie is the chairman for the Quebec hearing. As the hearings have gone on, we've heard so much testimony. We've heard from doctors, we've heard from embalmers, we've heard from Jordan Peterson gave a statement. What are your thoughts on some of the testimony you've heard so far?
Sometimes it's very hard to not getting emotional when you see what's happened to many people.
If you had a message for someone who's not watching this, or a message for someone from the government, what would you want to tell them?
Listen. Just listen. There is two kinds of people. People who get affected by what happened, they will feel less alone. They will see somebody else and meet with us. We're all together and it's good to be together. For the government, listen. What is democracy is basically what we've done.
It wouldn't actually be a citizens' inquiry without talking to citizens. I caught up with two BC residents, Leanne Bissalion and Jerry Coleman, to find out why they attended.
You know, I've been trying to wake people up for 2.5 years, and I heard about this inquiry, and I know a lot of people that have died. You know, my nephew is having heart problems. Well, both the parents died in the same year. Lots of people. I just went to a funeral the other day. I went to one about 3 weeks ago.
I've been following this after I woke up back in May of 2021 and been following this a lot, like crazy a lot, and heard that this was coming and thought it was a good opportunity to hear some firsthand stories, maybe meet some people that this stuff has happened to. My own family's been vaccine injured.
So both you ladies know a lot of people vaccine injured.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
If you could say something to the media, the current media, what would you want to say to them?
For me, it's like you're supposed to be reporting the truth, and interview people to get the truth.
And what about you? What message would you have?
Stop lying to us. Stop lying to the people. I think you should be held responsible for the death of many, and God will be your judge.
Testifying at the hearing is Alan Castles, a drug policy researcher who's been doing this work for 29 years.
We need to get the money lenders out of the temple. And what I mean by that is that pharma money has so infiltrated into the medical education of our physicians around prescribing that they often prescribe drugs not based on science but what the marketers will tell them. And we want our doctors to make decisions about drugs based on good science and good understanding of potential benefits and harms. If they're getting that information slanted or in a misleading way or deceived by the information they get, all patients will suffer.
I understand you've issued summons to government officials, members of the media maybe, or some other people that we'd like to hear from. I understand that some of them haven't shown up. And what would you want to say to those that have not taken the time to show up?
Well, so just so people understand, is because this is a citizen-led and run initiative, we don't have the power to issue summonses to legally compel people to attend. But we've organized ourselves as an official inquiry, so our rules are very similar, right down to third parties can apply for standing and also cross-examine witnesses. We want this to be as open and transparent as possible. So we have non-binding summonses that we've sent out to all public health officers and ministers of health and then some other assorted people. So in an effort to get them to come and participate in this inquiry, and so far we've had zero response.
What do you make of that, or what would you like to say about that?
Well, I'm actually not surprised, because the problem with the whole handling of the government narrative with COVID is that nobody that supports that narrative will debate with anyone who doesn't support that narrative ever. So either in Canada or the U.S. And so there's been 100% absence of discussion. And science is about debate, truth is about debate, truth is about dialogue. I'm involved because Canadians need a voice. We can't, all of us have family and friends we still can't talk to because we've been divided. And it doesn't matter where you are in the COVID conversation. We need to start talking to each other again. We need to come together. We need to hear stories. And we also need to find out what happened, because the reality is that a lot of people believe that something happened that didn't happen. And unless we get to the truth, we can't heal as a nation.
The National Citizens Inquiry continues in Quebec starting May 11th, and the last round of hearings is in Ottawa on May 17th.